Hello and welcome to our first CPD video on athletics. Today we'll be focusing on the discipline of the triple jump, quite a technical aspect of athletics, so quite a few different activities we've got going on today. Throughout the sessions we'll be working a lot with differentiation. We've got a blue, white and red cone, which we'll explain in more detail a bit later, representing different ability levels. Got a few activities, slowly building it up from the different sections, bring them all together, add in the run up, and then finally finishing off on the pit, doing the full triple jump. Right, okay, so for the first activity, we're going to differentiate it from the start. You're going to ask all the pupils to line up where they feel they are in terms of confidence of the triple jump and their ability to jump. So the least confident, we're going to ask to line up by the red cones. Those half and half, the white cones, and the most confident within the group will be asked to line up in line with the blue cones. The blue cones because they've got the longest distance to complete the activities, the red cones because they've got the shortest distance to complete the same task. You'll then ask the pupils to get into pairs, partner number 1 in front, partner number 2 behind, facing this way. In their pairs, you'll then explain to them that there's 3 different phases of the triple jump. You start with the hop, go through the hopping phase, the skip, go through the skip, show them the correct technique, and the jump.
Okay, so we've picked the white level today just to show you this demonstration, and myself, my partner, who would be here, we're going to try and do it. On the command of the teacher, he'll ask you to go, and all we're going to ask you to do is hop from one foot to the same foot until you get to your area. So, for example, we're going to go until we get to this side, and then we'll wait for our partner to come and give them a little bit of feedback. The second thing we'd do, okay, we'd get them to line back up here, or even move from that side, okay, is the partner behind has got to try and count for a little bit of competition, okay, of how many hops it takes the person to get from one cone here on the differentiated line to their diagonal line there to try and see if you've got it, okay? So my score will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, 4 would be the one for myself, and you'll have a little bit of a competition between you and your peers.
Okay, so once you've completed the competition with the hop, you then introduce the skip phase. With the skip, it's important you're teaching them not to do a traditional skip, 2 bounces on the 1 foot and hop. You're just telling them that it's more of a stride. So, same activity, they've got to try and see how few skips it takes them to get from this line to the differentiated white line over there. For example, my score here would be 1, 2, 3 and a half, because it took me half to get over that final line. You then wait for your partner to come and you give them feedback as they come over. Give them about 10 seconds feedback.
Okay, once you finish the skip phase, you now move on to the hop phase. Hop phase is something that you can take through from a transition from a long jump technique, or even from other techniques that you've seen within a standing long jump. We want students here to do this safely, so we're going to go from 1 foot to 2 feet to land. Okay, this is something that we're going to push through, and this is something that's going to hit towards the next part of our lesson. We're going to go from the blue this time. Okay, we're going to start on the 1 foot. We're going to try and drive forward with our knee, and we're going to ask students and try and tease points out of them to use our arms in order to lift them forward and try and get there. So for instance, I'm going to start on my right foot. I'm going to drive forward onto 2 feet. I'm going to drive forward onto 2 feet, onto 1 foot, drive forward onto 2 feet, reset until I get to the line. Okay, that's what we're going to complete. Exactly the same with the drills. We get a little bit of peer assessment at this side also, and we have a little bit of a competition towards the end. It is a little bit different between it, but we try and make sure that we have a little bit of competition between each pairs in order to make our drill work.
Right, okay, so once we've got the pupils to discover the different phases individually, we're going to start to bring it all together, and that's what this drill intends to do. So with this drill, once again differentiated with the red, the white and the blue sets of cones, gradually progressing and getting harder as you go. All we ask them to do is get all the pupils to line up behind the set of cones that they feel they're confident to master. So once you've got the pupils lined up, all we tell them to do is start to put all the 3 phases together. For example, hop to the first cone, skip to the second cone and jump to the third cone. Some of the pupils will initially find this quite difficult to get to grasp with, so what we tend to do is tell them to make it more simple by saying in their head, same foot, different foot, and both feet. So same foot, different foot, both feet. Just a little reminder, what we often ask them to do is to say that out loud, which just helps them to reiterate the key technique that you need in the triple jump.
As Sean said on that drill, we can make it a little bit difficult as well. We can move students from different places, or they can decide to move. Another trick that we did find when looking at this lesson and trying it for the second time is students can actually, even within their area, say if they pick the white, they can differentiate in another way. They can differentiate by moving their cones where they think it's possible. And we even had a little bit of a competition to see who can actually move their cones further. So I've just moved our cones a little bit up, and it's literally the same as a blue at the moment. So I'm obviously going to go same foot, different foot together. Okay, now I found that easier. Okay, students can then use the cones in order to progress further and try and increase their jump before we get onto our last stage today.
Right, okay, so once we've introduced all the phases together, the last section we've got to add on to the triple jump technique is the run up. So they're getting used to the run up, the hop, then the skip and the jump. So what we do, we get the pupils lined up. We have a standard run up start line, which is here symbolised by the big cones. Once again differentiated, so your less confident pupils here at the red, we've got the white, and then the higher end pupils there on the blue cones. We've then measured out the distances, given them general distances, so we've marked out every 5 metres, 5, 10, 15, so the pupils have a rough idea of how they're doing. So the pupils will run up, I'll give you a little demonstration. Pupils will run up, once they hit the line, they will hop, skip and jump, and we ask them to encourage them to shout out same, different, both, same as the previous drill. Once they've jumped, there'll be their partner or another pupil who's just jumped previously on the side, and they will be first of all marking out how far they've jumped, and secondly providing some peer assessment and peer feedback. 2 stars in the wish we tend to use, 2 points that they've done well and 1 that they can improve for next time.
So finally, our last drill. This is using the sandpit, and this is what we try and push through to our elite performers, or performers we feel can push through and use the pit. Maybe key stage 4 or the end of key stage 3. As you can see by the side of where we do take the triple jump from this piece of wood here, and we have got the red, the white, and we've got the blue different reference points where students can visually use these in order to try and get the best jump possible. We always use this plank here in order to try and get through, but also we make students aware at each point, if they would like to stop or take out a point, this is something that they can do in order to progress them, but also actually make them learn through the process. At the end of it, we do mark themselves out on the pit, okay, and it's an area where we think we can push through to get the best scores possible. Thank you for watching. We'd like to thank you for watching our video today. Hopefully you can give us a retweet and also give us a little bit of feedback on there. Everything we've done today is done through lessons, and you do it at your own risk. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in the next one.